Hello and welcome to a new video. Today is pretty exciting for me. I will be trying out my very first art subscription box. This is from Upcrate. They reached out and asked me if I wanted to try one of their boxes. Upcrate is a German-based art subscription box, and each month they send out a box like this one featuring a range of art tools and mediums. For this video they allowed me to choose from their previous boxes, so I'll be trying out box number 48 from August last year. Opening it up was pretty exciting and seeing everything packaged nicely. You can see here they give you a QR code that links to their website. It shows you the items of the box as well as a little bit about the featured artist of that month. You can go back and see some of the previous boxes as well. I think the newer ones are still locked behind a code, but you can see the older ones. So this box came with some nice watercolor paper, 300 GSM, which is like a really nice thickness. It's one of my preferred ones, as well as this beautiful print from the featured artist and a little bit about them on the back. And yeah, you can go on their site to see the full interview, and then there are some stickers based on their art as well. So here I am opening the supplies, and these are watercolor pens, and this box came with a lot more than I was expecting, with a really nice range of colours. And then these here are 3 coloured pencils by Koh-i-Noor, which is a brand I've also been really excited to try out, as well as a really thick pencil called Cretacolor, and it's huge. So now it means it's time to swatch them out, and I'll be doing that in the pad that they sent me. Yeah, here is just a close-up of the brush itself. You can see kind of that it is actual individual strands of whatever the brush is made from, rather than like one solid block, which is kind of what I was expecting, but I much prefer it this way because then you get a very brush-like texture, and it's really nice. The colours are very vibrant, which I love, but you also get a few pastel ones, and you can go from thick to thin extremely easily. Then the pencils themselves, I just wanted to swatch out as well and test how smudgeable they are, and the big one, as you can see, was quite smudgeable but the other one's not so much, which is something I like when using items like this because they are watercolours, so they're going to smudge the pencil if you use them first. And I then wanted to test the blendability of the pens. You can see they blend very nicely. They do stain the brushes a little bit afterwards, so you can see that I was rubbing off the excess, but it actually works quite well because then you can kind of make up, you know, blend them and get new colours. So I just wanted to test it out a little bit. So here I am drawing a green pigeon and just going over it with a couple of the colours and blending them. And yeah, the green pencil did not smudge, at least as far as I could tell, and that's really nice. I like it when the pencils don't smudge. Here I was doing another test with the black pencil and the brown pencil, but I probably chose the worst colour to test it on. I used sky blue, which is kind of a greyish looking colour anyway, so it is almost like hard to tell if they smudge, but they also, you can kind of tell they don't. I wasn't entirely sure what to do at this point. I have been really enjoying drawing birds lately, so I thought I'd just do another little doodle in the bottom of an anthropomorphic bird, and don't ask me what bird it was. It was going to be a pigeon, but then I just did like random colours, so it's just like this really colourful bird, and the colours blend really nicely. Using these colours was really nice, like layering them, as I said earlier, gets you different colours, so I was really happy with that. And then I outlined it using the coloured pencil and then went over some areas again with the black pencil, and I just really love the effect it had. That black pencil is so, I think it's soft when it leaves such dark colours behind. It is so lovely, I really love it. And then I also wanted to test how well they rub out, because I realised that if I wanted to sketch with them I needed to see if they rubbed out or not. Because I'm so into birds, I decided that I wanted to draw some proper birds for this video, so I'll throw up the reference pictures, but this was going to be just a little tester thing to get me in the mood for using them, kind of like practice, but I ended up liking how it turned out so much that I made it more of a finished piece, and I basically just do this whole page as a sort of graphic print style kind of thing. So I'm starting with a heron here because I love the shape of herons when they have their necks back, like how I've drawn it in this picture. It just creates such a nice shape to look at. And I'm sketching in the yellow pencil because it is the lighter of all the pencils, so I thought this would be a great one because then it shouldn't affect the colours I put over it too much, and it should effectively disappear, which it does. It's actually really nice. You almost can't see the yellow by the end of it. The colours, I was a bit nervous about doing the colours because while there is a nice range, they are also quite light. Like, there aren't so many dark colours except for like the orange and the browns and that one green. So I wasn't entirely sure how I was going to go into this, so I just decided to just go for it and just put colours where I felt like they should go. So it is a bit, I think, would you say it's impressionistic or something? I don't know. It's not entirely accurate. It's not realistic, but I end up really liking how this looks because it is so soft. The colours are mostly pastel, I'd say, so it comes out looking so gentle. And I really like that because it is actual like brush hairs on the nib, you really get this watercolor feeling. Like, it feels like you've painted with watercolors, except I struggle with watercolors, so it kind of also gives me that control that I feel I'm lacking when actually using watercolors. So I personally think I prefer using watercolor pens, apparently. Because I did my testings earlier, I had an idea of like how to mix the colors in ways that I like. So mixing the pink and the orange creates a nice red, which is something that I will do a bit later on some of those areas. But it also helped me with the fish because I swatched them out, so I knew what the colors looked like. I knew how to build them up and try and get the darkness contrast of the fish, because there aren't really that many colours in this pack that I think would work for it. Swatch your pens, I guess. Anyway, by this point I was kind of liking how the heron looked, but I wasn't entirely sure where I was going with it, and I wanted to give it a background, but I thought I'd use like most of the colours that I like, so I was like, I haven't got that many left, I don't want to reuse one. So I went for this green, I think it's called lemon green. Boy, I really like how it looked, and it also helps me appreciate how flat these colours can go down, because that background is just so consistent. For some reason the colour just goes so nicely with the rest of the colours that I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I think also having the yellow stars in the background really helped kind of tie it all together. So I then go over and I add the line art, going in with green and a bit of brown, which I actually really like the combination of these colours more than I thought I would. I was worried that because it is a limited colour set they wouldn't work well together, but I really love how they look together. So I went in with the green and added a star in the heron's eye, and I then also added some shading with the green in a couple places just to try and tie it in a bit more, and I think it did actually really help. It added some texture that I really like, but also some like tone variation, I guess. And then I went in with the black pencil and just added some dark areas where I think I needed it, and I went over the star in the eye, and initially I thought I had ruined it, but the more I like worked on this piece and that I got used to it, the more I like it, so I don't actually regret doing it as much. And then I went in and lined the stars as well because I just thought it would look cute to have a bit more definition. So yeah, it was at this point that I realised I kind of just wanted to make this page the final piece. So I found some more bird pictures that I thought were really cute but also could work with the colour palette that I had. I just threw them in the corner as well, and I placed them here so that there would be enough room to do more on the rest of the page. Initially I was planning on doing some more birds in the top corner, but you'll see that that doesn't really play out. But you can see that I got like a really nice gradient between the yellow, orange and the pink on the birds, which when the pens are wet they just blend perfectly like watercolors. Initially I was thinking I should try and do something similar to what the artist of the box had done, but I really suck at doing like landscape stuff. Like I was thinking, oh, I could do something like of my room, but I don't think that would have worked out. It would have looked terrible. So I stuck with birds because I've been really into birds lately, and really glad I did, because I think birds are so like pretty. Like they look so silly but also so pretty. So at this point I hadn't done any lining on the birds because I was thinking of adding a background, and I thought it would be better to do the lining afterwards. I decided to add some berries because I thought it would also make it interesting to kind of have something extra on the page, and I found these, I think they're cranberries, I can't remember, that I thought would look perfect because the birds have red on them, so I thought it would like tie it in a bit more to keep it in the same kind of colour palette tone. They were fun to paint. Oh, well, they're not. Is it painting? If it's a pen, do you call it painting? Well, anyway, they were fun to colour. Cranberries typically look like, they look like fairy food, honestly. But they look like these little gems of fruit, and I was really trying to keep that within my picture. And I think I kind of did, but also I personally just struggle making things look like translucent sort of shiny things. It took up more space than I intended, which is why I said earlier I was planning on having more birds, but that doesn't work out. Then I went in with the background of blue. Initially, I really regretted it because I thought it looked way too saturated and all the colours were just too much. But then when I actually went in and added the line art, I think it toned it down a bit, and I'm really glad that I left it as this blue, because I did do a couple colour testings to see if the blue could be fixed by adding any of the other colours over it, and it really did not look good. So I'm just really glad I left it as the blue. Again, adding the black pencil at the end really again helped solidify that I'd made the right choice, and I'm just really happy with how it all turned out. I think I've fallen in love with this pencil. I didn't realise I could love a pencil this much. I went and line arted the berries as well, and I decided that most of the outline of it was going to be black to try and give it this graphic look. Here I am testing if the pencil actually fits in my sharpener, because I didn't think I'd have a sharpener big enough. It just fits in a regular like school sharpener. It is the bigger hole of the two. I don't know if they have size names or anything, but it made it really nice and sharp. And you can see here I'm just going around the outline of the berries because I kind of wanted them to have the inner line art to just be the coloured stuff, and then it was kind of giving me kind of like a postcard feel, so I just thought of writing something along the top, and I settled with bird for some reason, and I think it looks alright. I really like how it all ended up looking, and I think it all works together, so I'm really happy with that. And overall, I am really in love with these pens. I'm definitely going to be using them a lot. They're just, it again is a convenience thing for me. I really love being able to just grab something that just does what I need it to do. I like traditional paints and stuff, but there is something alluring about picking up just a pen that is ready to go and it looks nice. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think this was a really great first experience for an art subscription box. Although they let me pick this box, there was still like an element of unknown, but it was really fun just getting a box full of art equipment and then limiting yourself to using just what's in that box. It was a really fun challenge. I've always seen people using art subscription boxes and they always look so much fun, so I'd highly recommend trying it out. I will leave the links to the subscription in the description down below if you are interested in trying it out. They've also given me a coupon code called static.wool.art, and it will offer you guys 30% discount on their boxes. So I just want to say a huge thank you to Upcrate for reaching out and allowing me to try out one of their boxes. It was incredibly fun. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you made it to this part of the video, hi, thank you. And also I want to give a huge thank you to my Patreons: Disby, Megan Palmer, Grimclow, Non-Toxic, Saint Nick's, LP, Kira May, Kay, Annabelle, Joanna, Sir Studalot, Mila, VB, Pretty Rotten, Crescent Frog, Joanna Snake Moon, Humble Frogs, Local Fishkeeper, Mould Ghoul, Art Mancy, Farrar Ware, Sun Arts, Blake, Molly Marula, Hannah Anderson, Sammy Bear 127, Kenzania, and Jades. Thank you guys so much for your support. I really, really appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video.